The story begins not on a red carpet or a film set, but in the quiet, windswept corners of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where a young Jenny Seagrove first opened her eyes to a world that seemed far larger than she could yet comprehend. Her early life would soon turn tragic when her mother died unexpectedly when Jenny was still a child, leaving behind a void that no amount of fame, applause, or love could ever truly fill. It was this loss, this aching emptiness, that shaped the way Jenny would love. Passionately, fearlessly, and sometimes disastrously. When she moved to England and pursued acting, she wasn't chasing fame. She was searching for connection. Each role became a mirror, reflecting fragments of her heart, a heart that would later be bruised, betrayed, and revived, again and again, in the public eye. But behind every camera flash, there was always a secret storm brewing. Jenny Seagrove's first great love was not a movie star, but a man of quiet strength, Madhav Sharma, an Indian-born actor known for his theater work and calm, introspective presence. When the two married, it seemed like a match made in creative heaven. Two actors, both fiercely independent yet drawn to each other's craft. But the pressures of the stage and the camera are merciless. Fame may bring recognition, but it also magnifies every flaw, every silence, every forgotten promise. Their love began to unravel in whispers, in missed dinners, and in unspoken arguments. Jenny once confided to a close friend, "We spoke so many lines on stage, but none to each other at home." The marriage, though brief, left an imprint, the first scar in a life that would become a tapestry of both love and loss. By the time they separated, Jenny was already stepping into the world of television drama, but privately, she was learning how fragile love could be. When Jenny entered the world of fame, a woman of substance, local hero, and a chorus of disapproval, she wasn't just an actress anymore. She had become a household name. Her poised beauty, her intelligence, and her haunting gaze made her a star. But in the shadow of that success was a new man, a producer, a businessman, and a romantic force, Michael Winner, the controversial film director known for his explosive temper and high-profile lifestyle. Their relationship was as volatile as it was passionate. The tabloids couldn't look away, nor could Jenny. Michael was charming but demanding, possessive yet magnetic. Friends described their love as beautifully dangerous. She once said in an interview years later, "I learned that love can be fire. And fire burns, no matter how much you think you can control it." Their public arguments were whispered about in the London entertainment circuit. There were dinners that ended in tears, premieres shadowed by tension, and nights when the paparazzi captured more pain than glamour. Still, for years, she stayed. Perhaps because beneath his sharp edges, she saw the broken boy in him. And in healing him, she hoped to heal herself. When the relationship finally ended, it didn't fade quietly. Michael Winner, never one to keep his opinions private, made remarks that the tabloids devoured. Rumors of jealousy, betrayal, and power struggles filled the columns. Jenny, ever graceful, remained silent. But silence, as always, is misinterpreted in the media. There were whispers of secret lovers, late-night calls, and on-set flings. Some claimed she had grown close to a co-star during her stage performances. Others suggested a director had fallen under her spell. None of it was ever confirmed, but the damage was done. For a time, Jenny was painted as the heartbreaker, the ice queen, the mystery woman. And in an industry that feeds on perception, that label followed her everywhere. Yet, those who knew her personally saw something different, a woman trying desperately to find genuine love in a world that confused attention with affection. And then came Bill Kenwright, theater producer, businessman, and one of the most influential figures in British stage history. When Jenny met Bill in the late 1990s, she wasn't looking for love. She was looking for peace. Bill offered her both, and more. Their love wasn't rushed or reckless. It was mature, grounding, and deeply real. They shared a love for theater, for storytelling, for compassion. Jenny, who had long been an advocate for animal rights and social causes, found in Bill a man who respected her convictions and adored her independence. But even in this seemingly steady romance, storms brewed beneath the surface. The public spotlight never dimmed. The press often speculated about their commitment, questioning why they never officially married. For Jenny, it wasn't about legal papers or public validation. "Love is not a ceremony," she once said in an interview. "It's a commitment made every day, in silence, in laughter, in the little things." Their relationship would last over 2 decades, a rare feat in show business, marked by passion, disagreements, and unbreakable loyalty. Every love story has its cracks, and even the most devoted couples face storms. Friends close to Jenny and Bill described them as intensely connected but fiercely independent. They often disagreed about career decisions, long-distance separations, and the constant public scrutiny. Jenny, ever the idealist, often clashed with Bill's pragmatic, business-minded nature. One friend recalled, "When they fought, it was thunder and lightning. But when they made up, it was sunlight again." Through it all, their affection never truly faded. Even in their hardest moments, they remained each other's anchor. Behind the elegance and charm, Jenny faced her share of personal battles. The loss of her mother haunted her into adulthood. The pressure to remain perfect in the public eye drained her emotionally. She also faced a painful miscarriage during one of her early relationships, something she revealed only years later to a close confidant. It was a loss she carried quietly, turning her grief into compassion for others. Perhaps that's why she dedicated so much of her life to helping animals and supporting mental health causes. Love, in her life, was never only romantic, it was spiritual, all-encompassing, and deeply humane. When Bill Kenwright passed away in 2023, Jenny's world dimmed. She had lost her greatest love, her constant companion, and the man who had weathered her storms for over 20 years. Her statement afterward was simple yet heart-wrenching. "He was my love, my friend, my heart. I am forever changed." Friends said she withdrew from public life for a while, spending time in solitude, walking her dogs, and reflecting on the life she had lived so passionately. For a woman whose life had been defined by the intensity of her emotions, from the fiery romances to the quiet heartbreaks, this was perhaps the final chapter of peace she had earned. Today, Jenny Seagrove remains one of the UK's most respected actresses, not just for her performances, but for her courage. She has faced scandal, heartbreak, and public judgment, and yet she continues to stand tall, graceful, and unapologetically human. In the world of glamour, where love is fleeting and loyalty is rare, Jenny Seagrove dared to live from the heart. She loved deeply. She lost profoundly. But through every fight, every scandal, every heartbreak, she found herself again. And maybe that's the real story, not of a star, but of a woman who refused to let the world define her heart.